Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So as most of you know, there is a huge logjam at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals right now. Just about every major 2A case has been placed on hold pending the decision in Duncan. If you don't know, Duncan is a case that challenges California's ban on magazines that can hold more than 10 rounds. It's a major case, but it was argued before the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals back in like March or April. So we've been waiting for quite a while for a decision in this case. Meanwhile, everything sits stagnant. Well, there is one other major case that I want to talk to you guys about today that we have some big news on. This is Rhode v. Bonta. This is the case that is challenging California's ammunition regulations under Prop 63. So not being able to have anything sent to your home, having to do background checks, all that stuff. We finally have some big news in that case. I want to talk to you guys about it today, so let's get to it. Now, real quick before we get started, I was nominated for a Gundie, and I've been nominated before, and it's a huge honor, it really is, but I've never really pushed it because I didn't start doing this for recognition. I started doing this about 12 years ago because I lived in California and I was absolutely sick of the laws that were impacting my Second Amendment rights, and I wanted to speak out about it. At the time, there wasn't really anybody doing it, especially about California. I think people were afraid to speak out. There were some small blog posts or whatever. So I decided to start talking about it here on YouTube. And ever since then, I think, it's had somewhat of an impact. A lot of people know what's going on now, and I'm very proud of what this channel has become. But this time, you know what? I thought, why not? Why not see if we can actually win a Gundie one time? So I am asking for your vote. I would really appreciate it. It's Top 2A Voices. The link is going to be down in the description box. And you can vote once every day, I believe, until December 15th. So again, while I'm not a massive voice out there, I would like to think that, my decade plus of advocating for the Second Amendment has had some impact on some of you, and maybe you'd be willing to show your support in that way. Okay, so let's go and talk about what's going on here with Rhode v. Bonta, because again, this is an extremely important case. I feel like if we don't put a lid on this now, you're going to start seeing these regulations spread to the rest of the country. Now, Rhode v. Bonta is a case that we already won at the district court level. As a matter of fact, Judge Benitez, also known as Saint Benitez to those in California, wrote a great opinion in this case, basically saying that California hasn't shown any historical analogs that are sufficient to uphold the law as it exists today. There's just nothing in history that is relevantly similar that would support upholding this law. So Judge Benitez overturned the law, and obviously the Ninth Circuit decided to stay that. Well, we just found out not long ago that oral arguments are going to be in 2 days, day after tomorrow on December 4th. So this is a pretty big deal. Again, we're waiting for all these other cases, but Rhode v. Bonta is continuing to move forward. So we have oral arguments in 2 days in front of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and we also now know who the judges are. Who the judges are it's probably one of the most important things, because if you take a look at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and even though the difference between conservative and progressives are kind of changing within the judges of the Ninth Circuit, right now we're sitting more at a 50-50 than we used to be in the past, where the liberal judges on the Ninth Circuit really had a vast majority. They don't have that vast majority anymore. As a matter of fact, there's a lot more thanks to President Trump, who appointed those Ninth Circuit judges. Regardless, the judges are one of the most important things because it can almost tell you what the outcome will be. Okay, so here's a look at the court's calendar for December 4th, and you'll see at the very bottom right there, it says Rhode et al. V. Bonta, an appeal from the district court's judgment, that's Benitez's judgment, and permanent injunction in an action challenging California's law regulating the purchase and sale of ammunition as enacted by Proposition 63. Now at the top there, you'll see the schedule and the 3 Ninth Circuit judges that have been assigned to Rhode v. Bonta. So again, it's going to be on December 4th at 9 a.m. in Courtroom 1 in Pasadena, and it's going to be before Judges Bybee, Ikuda, and Bade. Now, sometimes, and certainly not all the time, and I'll prove that to you here in just a second, you can kind of tell which way a judge will land on a specific issue just based on who appointed that judge. Now, in our case, with these three judges, we have one judge that was appointed by Trump, that would be Judge Bade, and then two judges who were appointed by Bush, that would be Ikuda and Judge Bybee. Now, I can tell you right now that we have two judges that in the past have leaned in the right direction for the Second Amendment. That would be Judge Bade and Judge Ikuda. However, Judge Bybee was absolutely terrible on the Second Amendment. Now, case in point, Judge Bybee actually wrote the majority opinion in Young v. Hawaii, where the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals upheld Hawaii's requirement that people demonstrate some type of special need or urgency in order to open carry. So he went on the wrong side of the 2A for that. Now, based on my limited knowledge of these judges, it looks like, at least to me, that we have a 2-to-1 advantage in front of them. So Rhode v. Bonta has a solid chance of actually getting a win here. Now, either way, as you know, if you live in California, there's a good chance that this is going to be appealed en banc. And again, it doesn't matter which way this falls. If it falls in our favor, California will probably appeal en banc. If it falls in their favor, then we'll appeal, and that's how the story goes, and then it'll go up to the Ninth Circuit. So this is something that's not going to be over fairly soon, but it's also something that could still be delayed by Duncan. Duncan is the decision that is holding up absolutely everything right now. But still, what we have here would be precedent, right? So if the Ninth Circuit, these two judges, write a majority opinion that is in favor of Rhode in this case, that is going to be a huge win for us regardless of an appeal or not, because the Ninth Circuit en banc has to take a look at their colleagues' work and the opinion that they write, and they have to take that into consideration when determining what they want to do with it. So again, either way, we need to get a win here, because a loss here, if we have to appeal on a loss, it's a lot harder to fight that up at the Ninth Circuit en banc. If we get a win here, it definitely makes litigation a little bit easier. So hopefully we get a win on this. I think that we might. Again, it's California. You never know what's going to happen. But again, like Judge Benitez said, there's really no historical analog or historically relevant law that will back up California's law as it stands today. But the Ninth Circuit is really good at playing games. They love messing around with things. We'll see. And we'll see what happens in Duncan. I'm hoping that because this case has some movement and, it's going down the tracks, that maybe the Ninth Circuit will get off their high horse and actually do something with Duncan. And we'll find out about that sooner than later. And again, I'm on the fence on that one too. We'll see what happens. But if we lose that one, I believe it'll go up to the Supreme Court. Either way, I wanted to let you guys know about that. Some very big things that are happening in Rhode v. Bonta in just a couple days. So I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.